Finally, a bath. The bath is excellent. Even if the room smells like mold, having the bath to yourself is certainly preferable to sitting with a pack of bored naked men asking about your scars. Even Agra shuts up. You wonder if she can feel the pressure you feel. Thanks to this unexpected luxury, after the cold stink of the sewer, you spend entirely too long soaking in the tub, using up the provided sliver of soap. What? Oh, I thought it was silver spoon. It's sliver of soap. I mean, it's used soap, so it's so little that there's only a little bit of it left. The bar is so thin down, so it's a sliver of soap entirely. It's only after you get out that you realize there's nothing with which to dry yourself. Stand in front of the crackling fire with the arms spread. That's not going to do you any good because that will take a long time to fucking dry. You stand in front of the crackling fire with your arms spread out, letting the heat dry your skin. When your front side is dry, you turn your back to the fire. You got your hands out to either side. When the door opens, the proprietor sticks her head in. I was beginning to think you were drowned. You cover yourself both hands, make yourself useful and find me something to dry off with. I provide the hot water and tub. She tells you. You want cloth, you pay for one. Either way, hurry it up. I've got another customer out here waiting. How much for the cloth, you ask. 1 gold, she tells you. You clap your hands over your heart to display your shock. Why? Wait. A gold? A fucking gold? Oh, right. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, I was like, she's giving me... I'm paying a gold coin for a towel. That's not it. I think she's getting me a whole, outfit. Because my clothes are fucked. So, yeah. You clap your hands over your heart to display your shock. She sticks a pudgy hand to her hips. You want it or not? I've got customers waiting. I'll dry in my clothes, you tell her. She cocks a thumb over her shoulder. Well, do it outside. I got customers waiting, you say. I heard you the first time. She leaves. You shrug back into the soiled trouser and mostly clean tunic. The cloak is ruined. Thankfully, it's soaked up most of the sewer filth. You decide to leave it. Then your eyes fall on the service bell. Steal it, urges Agra. Steal it and wear it around your neck like a cow. You would probably fetch a few coins. You would take her advice and minus the wearing part. I'm not gonna steal a fucking bell. I'm not that petty. Leave the fucking bell. That's fucking retarded. You leave the bell and duck out of the baths. Provider goes past with the next customer. It occurs to you that the customer will be using that bell. So it's just as well you didn't steal it because the theft would have been quickly discovered and readily pinned on you. Two qualities you loathe in a theft. Ring City is large, but it's not that large. You don't need to be gaining a reputation, especially over such a small gain. The smell of spicy stew and strong ale comes from the direction of the common room. Your stomach gives a hungry growl, but you have no coin to waste on food. Back on the street, you head for the corner, start looking for a dress. I'm in the outer ring, right? I might not find one. I'm not sure if there are any good stores in this, the outer ring. A man buying a dress is probably not common in Ring City, and you're sure that they will take an issue in dealing with the scoundrel in soiled leggings. You'll have to replace your clothes. As you venture towards the garment district, you consider how to go about clothing yourself before clothing the vampire. You first thought it would simply buy clothing, but then that would leave precious little left for the dress. Wait, I have 15 gold. Come on now. Little left for the dress. Another option is to steal someone's clothing. You're moving along a busy boulevard, checking out potential donors. There is a shabby looking old man in a frayed cloak and tunic. He looks like an easy mark, probably quill at the side of the blade. You may even come to appreciate a forced trade in clothing, since it appears he would be getting an upgrade. That is, after you wash your clothes. Another option is a worker in the Krea leather with the stout boots, a sturdy looking cloak made to keep the cold at bay. He's got a thick neck. He's probably no stranger to work. That doesn't necessarily mean he can fight. There's also a well-dressed gentleman, a crimson cloak with wolf hair lining and supple leather boots. What he's doing in the outer ring is anybody's guess. Whatever it is, he looks bored. Indeed, he's already half asleep. I'm gonna rob the shabby fellow. I don't want to fight the worker. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. And he's not even in an alley, he's outside, so people would notice probably. Wealthy looking man, probably not a good idea. I mean, usually people do rob wealthy people, but these are different times. You might actually end up getting fucked up, especially if you got connections. So I'm gonna go for the shabby fellow. You chose to rob the shabby man in his thoroughbred cloak. It won't be much of an upgrade, but at least you won't stink. But then again, I just noticed I might actually end up getting fucked up because of this, because The store might not allow me in with the shitty clothes. Won't be much of an upgrade, but at least you won't stink. You catch up to him as he's passing a narrow alley. You clap a what the fuck? My tongue did a 360. You catch up to him as he's passing a narrow alley. Clap a friendly hand on his shoulder. Dig the point of your dagger into his rib cage. Turn into the side street. You stab in his ear, and I promise not to stab you. Oh please, sir. He starts to babble. Please don't hurt me. I'm an old man with nothing to show for my time on this world. Not even offspring to carry on my name. Have mercy on an old man. Fine, you say calmly. I'm not going to hurt you. You just get into the alleyway. You heard down the side street he goes, begging for his life between big wet sobs. So he's already crying. You go halfway down the alley. It's cramped, littered with trash, and poorly lit. It should keep you safe from prying eyes. Besides, in a town like Ring City, few people come to the aid of a stranger. This is far enough, old man. Out of those clothes, make it snappy. He stops begging and blinks rheumly eyes. You want my clothes? Yes, I want your clothes. In fact, I'll trade. Start to strip out of your shirt and leggings. The old man doesn't know what to make of this turn of events. He shrugs out of his cloak and pulls off his tunic. You hand over your own clothes to take his. He seems to view your clothes as an improvement, and smell aside, he's right. His garments are even more worn and frayed than you had noticed from distance. Oh well, they're mostly clean. As a bonus, this old man won't be bothering you with any plans of revenge or complaints to the guardian. That is true. Nice work, fleecing and defenseless old man, Agra says, sounding bored. You realize you still smell, right? You emerge from the alley. Why am I smelling? Trying to ignore Agra, the slightly musty smell. Yeah, it must smell, but not that bad. At least it's not feces. Come on now. You never knew a city, even one as large as Ring City, would hold as many dress shops. A 10-minute walk through the little strewn neighborhoods of the outer ring makes you past no less than a dozen shops with signs advertising women's clothing. Salty Bench has some incredible revealing dresses on display. The vampire probably would not approve. Or maybe she would. Pick one already, Yegra complains. Easy for you to say, you still. Your life doesn't depend on this dress, mine very well might. A pair of lovely young ladies just exit his shop ahead of you. They throw a curious look in your direction. You clear your throat and start humming a sea shanty like you were singing. Not talking to yourself, that would be crazy. He's singing sea shanties? Well, that's with the times at least. I mean, nowadays everyone's singing sea shanties. Never realized how much of a potential sea shanties have. Like, I've heard of old Taylor songs and they sound good, but recently just a lot of sea shanties got famous, I think because of some TikToks or something, and they're pretty good. Anyway, you're talking out loud again, Egro says. Next time you could remind me before I make a fool of myself, you think. Where's the fun in that? You shrug and glance around. You choose an establishment called the Silver Spindle. A bell rings as you enter. The shop smells of cotton bolts and broadcloth. A rosy-cheeked woman of middle years comes out of the back and smiles at you. Hello, sire. What can I be helping you with today? I don't think. Wait, hold on. She's coming with like, hello, sire, despite seeing my clothes. This is a good store because I think most stores would be giving you eye if you were wearing like really cheap or shitty clothes or something. But she really came out with the hello, sire. Especially when in the outer ring with shitty clothes. You clear your throat. I need a dress. Her expressive brow crinkles in conclusion. It's not for me, you tell her. It's for, you almost say vampire, but realize that would not sit well with the kindly old dressmaker. Instead you say it's for one of my many lovers. You tell her with a crocky grin on your face. Ladies find me irresistible. I'm sure they do, sir. Sire, her voice says otherwise. She's being sarcastic, fucking hell. Will the lady be joining us? No, is that a problem? Why are we so like on edge? Because like, why are we going like, no, instead of just going, no, she will not be joining us. Simple like that, instead of trying to fucking, I mean, I guess in a situation like that, you would be kind of stressed out, especially when you have never bought clothes for women. Like, I would fucking flip the fuck out. She smiles at you with a mixture of pity and amusement. How will we tailor it, sire? You point at a dress on display. She's about that size. Shopkeeper smiles and shakes her head. That won't do at all, sire. I'll need the lady here to hem the skirt and take in the waist. You'd not want your lady friend to go around looking frumpy, would you? No, you agree. That wouldn't do at all. And I would likely die. On the other hand, anything would be better than that torn rag she's wearing now. Perhaps she will allow me to live. She will only tear it up on those rooftops in the nights ahead. You always have conversation in your head, asks Agra in your mind. When the choice is important, you say back. Good thing you have me in your head, says Agra. Why not have your conversations with me? Assuming you have been speaking to her, the dressmaker smiles in a long-suffering way. Understand that you want to surprise your friend, but unless she has an identical sister who would be willing to come in, I'm afraid you would be taking a frightful risk, and do not accept refunds. You could just make new adjustments, you say. Do you happen to meet customers at a late... What? You could just make new adjustments, you say. Do you happen to meet customers at a late hour, perhaps after dark, on a rooftop? Agra asks, what are stupid questions? The dressmaker eyebrows raised for a moment, and she smiles faintly as though trying to work out whether you're joking. Finally she says, no. Give me a minute to think, you say. Take all the time you need, sire, says the dressmaker. You nod and leave. You step outside, put your hands on your hips. The sun seems to be racing around the horizon. You need a dress or the vampire is going to drink you like a glass of mulled wine. Everybody dies sooner or later, but you'd rather not meet your fate as a vampire snag. Yes, that is true, because if you died, you would more than likely enter the resurrection cycle, as far as I know. Yeah, I think there's a resurrection cycle if you die in a normal way. If you die at the hands of a demon rider, like you become a vampire and die like that, or if you were to, what is it called, if you were to get drained, or you get your soul crushed, in that situation your soul will more than likely go to whosoever crushed it, to their master, to be tortured in their realm or whatever. So whosoever the person who killed you, whosoever their master is, you will go towards their domain. If you're unlucky, that is. I mean, I do believe there's a possibility where your soul will be crushed, in which case you will only lose your soul partially, in which I think your memories get fucked up, and then you will just re-enter the cycle of rebirth or something. I think it's more than likely you'll end up in their master's domain if you do end up dying like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I've also heard, I think there was a thing where if you become a vampire, there's a possibility your soul might just be destroyed, but I'm not too sure. As far as I know, I don't think there's anyone who can destroy the soul per se. They can crush it to get some energy out of it, and they can enslave it and all that, but I don't think I've heard of them like destroying a soul so far. Yeah. To Agra, you think, have you got any good ideas? I mean, Agra is technically looking at my memories, right? You can probably come up with the measurements just by looking. Have you got any good ideas? I'm enjoying this tremendously, thanks, you say. You're a big help. Where is Krea when you need her? She's about the same size as the vampire. On the tail end of that, you realize you don't need the vampires per se. You just need a woman close in size. Whorehouses abound in the outer ring. You could hire a woman to go to the shop with you, or you could go in search of Krea and ask her to model for you. She might have coin you have earned, Agra says. Or, I'm not listening to anything you have to say. You've tricked me one too many times. I'm the daughter of Oher. What would you expect? Exactly why I'm not listening to you, you think to her. Not even if I told you how to make sure the dress fits perfectly. Still skeptical, you think. You have my attention. I can show you how to make a brew which would turn you into a vampire. You know about potions? I know many things. How do I not know this isn't one of your tricks, you think? She giggles. As much as I enjoy playing you for a fool, I enjoy the thought of you turning into a woman even more. How long it would last? Provided you follow my instructions to a letter, that transmogrification would last between 2 to 3 hours. That's not much time, you think. How long can it take to hem a dress? How should I know, you think? Do you want my help or not? Agres asks. Hating yourself for trusting her again, you ask, what ingredients do I need? I think the whorehouse idea was much better. I could have just gone and picked a girl that would look like her, and like, if I'm dressed as a vampire, wouldn't she be able to tell like I'm a vampire again or something? Like she's like, oh shit, it's a vampire or something. Like, I think it would be fairly obvious, especially if our fangs are showing. When we open our mouth, it would probably be visible. One of the things I don't like about this, the Stans, what's his name? The two creators of this chapter, right? The old one was the same guy from chapter 5, Sandstrom or whatever his name is. I think his way of writing I prefer, because this other style of writing I've seen, like sometimes they're like 3 pages of just continue instead of giving me choices or any idea. Like, why would we even have the idea of the whorehouses or grabbing a random woman? Like, it's forcing me to go towards the transmorgification or whatever it's called. It's forcing me to create this potion, which I would never do in this situation, but it's kind of forcing me that way, which I don't like. As I've said before, I don't like it when this game gets so fucking linear, because then it just feels like I'm reading a novel rather than making choices. You know, these things, there should be 3 storylines which would end on like, if in this situation there should be at least 2 options. One would be whorehouse option, one would be their transfiguration option, or the third would be just buying a dress randomly, which all should lead to giving this to the vampire, with each of them having separate or similar shenanigans. And at the end of the day, what we get to that, which route we took, we will get a different result, with the vampire obviously taking our life, or you know, spending favor, or losing morale, or losing gold, or whatever it is. But I think there should be a little more non-linear pathway here, which last chapter did, and last chapter did as well. This chapter has been very straight. I don't like it.